What's up, everybody? I'm Rick.
And I'm Anna.
And welcome to our reaction to Naruto Shippuden episode 128.
Welcome.
Anna,
yes,
we're in a flashback.
In a flashback, and I'm so curious to see how it goes.
So it's Jiraiya. Jiraiya was, on a quest after being told a prophecy in which you're gonna have a disciple. That disciple will either bring great peace or great destruction. You have to guide him into that by making choices. And now Jiraiya is like,
yes,
what do I do?
Right, he's confused. He doesn't know what even would bring the peace, so he doesn't know what he would teach his student. But yeah,
he was also told he had to travel the world and write books. So he did that for a while, but then came back to the village because of the war, and that's where we left off.
Right.
So let's get right back into it. And of course, a reminder that this is your first time watching.
It is, yes.
Not mine. Oh, they were in a hard fight. That's where the name came from. She wants him to come back to the village.
Oh. Oh, what's happening? Hey, who's that?
It's a kid.
This kid is very serious. He's not saying please or anything. What do you want? Give me food.
Give me food. They just take all the food. Yeah.
I mean, they don't know when they'll see food again, so. You're following them? Oh.
As a thanks.
An origami flower.
Shall I kill
my
this
gosh,
children?
Orochimaru. You're already creepy.
He says it as if it's like a service to them, right?
Yeah.
They'd be better off if they die right now.
Oh wow.
Staying with them.
He's staying with them, like he's giving them food. I'm telling you, these kids haven't seen food in a long time.
This isn't the hidden ring.
Yeah, they were saying that it was always the battleground of the other
big nations, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it means to. That's a dark thing to say, right?
Yeah. Especially coming from a kid. Still can't think of what to write. What happened?
We got into a fight. Nagato took care of him.
What's that? I haven't seen that before, have I?
The Rinnegan.
Oh wow. So it must be stronger than the Sharingan and the Byakugan.
So that's exactly like the prophecy could bring great destruction, or there was some interesting lore there too about the father of all ninja, and
yeah, was just like dropped there. Wow, this kid is
gloomy.
Yeah. They're already starting to have a ninja team dynamic.
Right.
Yeah.
It really is always raining in the Hidden Rain, huh?
I suppose that's why it's called the Hidden Rain.
He didn't even realize what he was doing. And he feels bad about killing someone.
Yeah. He's good at heart.
They're good friends, the three of them.
They have a strong bond, you know, having been through this together.
Tales of a Gusty Ninja by Jiraiya.
He stayed with them for years. That's insane.
3 years.
He stayed there for 3 years. That's crazy. But if you think he was the disciple, would you think that's enough?
To just teach him and leave?
Yeah. And still leave him at such an impressionable age, you know.
The war was not over though, so... he has a job to do.
Oh, all three of them.
They're building their legend.
Yeah.
Hate only gives birth to more hate. It's the cycle.
Yeah. They're like on such opposite ends of the spectrum. Jiraiya and Orochimaru.
Jiraiya's hope and Orochimaru's like, this is life, man.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Those three have died.
The one with the rare
eyes.
Eyes jutsu. He's tall, huh? Jiraiya compared to the others.
Oh, that's that scene with Kakashi.
Yeah.
Another one of Jiraiya's disciple, Minato.
They all found different, like, learn different lessons from this war. If you think about it, he really failed. Of the three of them, he died first.
And his path to immortality.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the other two have just been living a regular lifetime so far. Oh! Minato.
He's reading the book. He wrote that scene into...
Yeah.
Never give up. Who are you? He likes the book.
Yeah. So he wrote a book of his like experiences. Oh! Really? That's where the name is coming from?
Naruto. And look who's there! It's the first time seeing her.
Yeah. So by this point, he must have already been the Hokage.
So, in a way, Jiraiya named Naruto.
That's such a nice story. I wonder what Naruto would think of it if he finds out. Also, he named his character in the book Naruto because he was eating ramen when he was writing the book.
And Naruto's favorite food ends up being
is also ramen. Yeah. Oh, that's so it's so it's like the way things go around. It's so interesting. I really like it.
So he found these 3 kids in the Hidden Rain. One of them had the Rinnegan. Now, like I told you, there was a bit of lore here about like how rare it is, and the father of all ninja had it, the Sage of the Sixth Path. And the legend has that when it comes back, that person will either bring will change the world or whatever. So he's like, oh,
that's gotta be him.
Yeah. Let's teach these kids. But then they die.
They just die. Yeah.
What do you think we're at with this prophecy here?
Oh, but I mean, I already mentioned that. I think the disciple in the prophecy is Naruto, and I think that the choice that that the sage toad was talking about, or not the choice, but like the path to either bring destruction or peace. I don't think it's. I mean, I talked about it before, and I said I think it's destruction's what Naruto has to bring, but not destruction in the sense of war, but rather of the system that is in place. But I mean, that doesn't exclude peace, but it also doesn't mean it will bring peace. You know what I mean? Because maybe it will be chaos once things start changing, but out of that, hopefully a better world would emerge. You know.
So now we're getting, really into like these philosophical and really deep debates about war, peace, the nature of man. Orochimaru was very much of, like you were saying, the idea that hate only begots hate, and
there's the world we live in. Exactly. Nothing can be done about it.
Exactly. But Jiraiya was like, there must be a way. That's difficult, right? That's difficult to argue. There must be a way when you're not really providing an answer.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But the prophecy doesn't say that he would have the answer, but that his disciple would possibly have that answer. So I think maybe what Jiraiya needs to do, in his journey is not necessarily to find the answer, but rather to have all of these like different experiences, seeing all the sides of these types of conflicts, so that when a disciple would ask you those kind of questions, you would have a balanced answer to give to them. And I think that's the difference. Jiraiya in a way is looking for peace because that's what he thinks his disciple should in the end bring upon the world, peace, and he's looking for how to guide him in that direction. And on the opposite side, Orochimaru thinks this is the world and there's nothing that can be done about it, and all that matters to him is how to become stronger
to survive that world.
Exactly. And I think that the answer is a lot about, sure, people die, but not all of them, and we don't have to hate that much. And even if there is war, we shouldn't let it destroy us to the core. Like as humanity in general.
But it's difficult, right? Because when you're affected personally, no matter how many people tell you you shouldn't hate the enemy who killed your family, you're like, oh yeah, but I kind of hate them still.
Yeah, of course that is difficult, but I feel like a world that would operate by different concepts or by different rules, could maybe allow people, first of all, it would allow ninjas to not be used as tools of war, and that would lead to less and less of this type of situations, right? Things like this. Which is why I think Naruto just needs to change the way the world works.
It's an open question, right? but it's interesting to think about. Speaking of war, right, we saw different scenes of the war, right, and the three of them building their legend. Tsunade was often making reference to Jiraiya leaving, right, and I think that's an interesting element to her character too, that it feels like she always wanted him to stay. She never just says it, and from his point of view, he thought like she doesn't really care, right?
Right. Because she was cold to him always. That's interesting.
Because she never says like, "Oh, won't you stay?" or whatever. She's like, "Oh, so you're gonna leave again, right?" Which is kind of said in a way of like.
But I feel like maybe it's a lot about, again, you know, referencing the relationship that we've seen between Naruto and his group. Sakura also wants Naruto to be safe, you know. So I think it's a lot of like that kind of feeling, like, oh, you're going out there, you know, it's war, or we've just gone out of a war and you don't know what's gonna happen, it's dangerous, like, wouldn't it be better for you to just settle down, be here, be safe, stay with us? Also because I guess by that time she had, I mean, we saw by that time she already had lost someone, so people, exactly. So she's driven by that emotion also of like, oh, I don't want to lose my friends too.
All in all, what do you think of this flashback?
Oh, I loved it so much. I thought it was so good. It gives us so much insight in what's going on. It puts everything into perspective, you know, where even the situation that we are in, or the point in the story where we are now, like understanding how this world came to be in, you know, here, it's like, I feel like it makes such a difference. You know, you see events with different eyes once you get like all of these background stories. So I think it's very interesting. But also I understand the relationship between Jiraiya and like everyone in general around him, including Naruto, especially Naruto, you know, very differently. Because while to Naruto he's just a teacher that he had for some years, Jiraiya was there and was an important part of his story from, you know, before he was even born. So
yeah, that's true. Well, we shall see what happens as we react to more episodes of Naruto Shippuden. If you want to be there for those reactions, we invite you to
subscribe to this channel. The button is down below.
Like this video if you did, comment in the comment section below, and have a nice day.